to Horror Movies with Friends. I'm your host, Andy Green, aka Wolfmandy Screame. Well, I haven't done that before, but that was fun. And this is day 22.
Day 23.
Of 31 horror movies, friends, I was going to say horror friends, and horror drinks. And he's shaking his head already. It's going to be a long episode, boys and girls, and everyone. I don't know, you know what we've been doing here. I'm just going to go right to this man right here. This is newly married, and yeah, show that ring.
Yeah.
Back from the honeymoon and came back exactly for this. This is
the only reason why I came.
This is why you're back. Yeah, yes, you were going to stay in Mexico forever.
We were going to stay, but I was like, no, we have to come back. Andy needs us.
I do need you. That's what this show is about. We need friends, and it's not shameful to admit that. And Chris has done the logo for this show. He has collaborated on many things with me in the last year, and that's been sort of one of the fun journeys.
It's the blossoming of our friendship, I think.
Yeah, and this is gonna be I was gonna say like the cherry on top, but like what's
the candy corn?
Candy corn.
But I don't actually like candy corn, so maybe we should.
It's a very controversial topic, candy corn. What's a circus thing that could be like this? What's the thing on top of a tent? Like just a flag. Yeah, it's the flag on top of our friendship. Yeah, we're planting a flag.
The circus flag.
Yes, the circus flag. And so, what movie are we watching?
Oh,
Chris?
Vampire Circus.
Did I even say your name? Christopher Miles.
Yes. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I said other things about you.
There were other words being spoken.
Yeah, Christopher Miles,
me.
And we are talking about, yes, say it again.
Vampire Circus.
There it is. And that's 1972, Hammer Horror, British film, and it is streaming on Tubi TV and the Roku channel, I believe. You'll get some ads, but that only just adds a flavor to the experience, right?
So, I did not do that. I actually was just like, I don't want any ads, so I bought it on Amazon Video. Actually, I didn't buy it, I rented it.
Okay,
so,
I was going to say.
But in HD, and man, boy, that extra $1 was so worth it.
Oh, you always do the extra $1 for the HD. Who's going to buy, once you are going to rent or buy, you're not going to do the standard depth.
No way.
Because then it's like you're watching the VHS, although that's a different fun
That
thing.
would be a different kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd done that now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, but it wouldn't have been.
Or maybe watch it without my glasses on. That would have been the same thing.
That probably is. Is it painful to watch things without your glasses?
It's a different experience for sure, but painful, no.
Okay. It just sort of reminds you of your mortality.
Yeah, basically.
Which isn't painful at all. That's just
no,
nice.
not at all. That's an everyday occurrence, let's be honest.
That's true. That's certainly this month. I feel like I'm aging certainly more than Count Mitterhouse. The star of this. Yeah, it's a rough segue here. I'm slightly distracted by this beast here, the Panther Man. This is formerly Emil here. But before we go, I don't know if I need coffee already, but I think it'd be rude not to ask you, Chris. Would you like some coffee?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, let's do this. Ooh, you're gonna bite me? All right. Here, actually, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he wants some coffee. I'm gonna pour for camera, or at least a rough approximation of where the camera is.
Oh, that looks nice. It's nice and light.
It does. I found this at what was the coffee shop in? Basically a coffee shop in LA. I was looking for, trying to match countries with movies.
Perfect.
So, Korean coffee with a Korean film or whatever. And this is an English coffee. This is actually roasted in the Lake District, but it's a Colombian coffee. And I guess I had more information on here, but I tore it off. And
that seems unwise.
If anyone knows me, I'm unwise. No, it's cheating because it says the tasting notes.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this without. Hopefully, it's not too hot, but it's been sitting here. I poured more for myself,
Cheers.
Like a good host. It's not as fruity as the smell.
No.
It kind of has that, traditional coffee taste that
there's a little bit of bitterness.
Yeah.
A little bit of bitterness.
It's probably the brewer's fault, to be honest.
We'll go with that.
Which is, this guy. That's my fault. Although the second sip was better. we'll see how this
It's
journey.
not bad.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
yeah. No, let's see how the journey goes here, Chris.
I mean,
yeah. What circus performer does this remind you of in Vampire Circus?
probably the what is it called? The jester. No, I'm just kidding.
Is there even a jester?
Just the short guy.
The short guy, yeah.
But no, actually, I think it probably reminds me more of one of the dancers.
Oh, the tiger sex dancers?
The tiger sex dancers, which was a shocking surprise.
That was one of my favorite parts because I was just like, hey, the circus
artful.
is fun.
It was very artful, and I was just like, this seems a little risque for this community.
I was like, this is for children?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just naked. I mean, it's basically they were just having a mating ritual, and she was naked. I mean, yeah, yes, she's painted.
She's painted, but very obviously naked. And there were a few shots where like they were clearly focused on that.
Well, and that's what Hammer Horror is about. At the end of the day, in some ways. I saw on it that it's rated PG, and I'm like, well,
that's surprising.
Yeah,
to me.
Well, because it also has another sex scene at the beginning with Anna and Mitterhouse,
which was really just like them rubbing against each other.
It was a very chaste.
It was
romantic.
I mean, so I watched this with my wife, and she's like, "What are they doing?" I'm like,
that's not a good sex scene.
I think they're having sex. That or they're rubbing their scent on each other. I'm not sure.
I think there's something to that as well.
That, yeah.
What are they doing? How many other times did you say that, or did she ask that while watching this movie?
That was the one time, but the rest of the time, well, there was another moment where she's like, "I'm not sure I'm feeling this right now."
Oh, I didn't have that problem. I was definitely feeling this movie, although it's not it's not cinema. Well, yeah, it is.
I mean, it's art.
It is art. It's great.
I was like watching the credits roll on that thing, and I was like, somebody had this idea.
It's a great idea.
Somebody was like, you know what? We need to make a Vampire Circus movie, and thank God for them.
Really, because if not for them, this would be an empty couch.
This is true.
These glasses would be empty.
There would be no Day 22 show.
Yeah, just be cut to. Well, I will say this. My note, or like my thing that I wanted from this was maybe more clown vampires, and by more I mean one.
Yeah, one would have been good. I mean, we had
we have the little
court guy.
We have the little person who's in clown makeup, and that is the only clown in the movie. Really, I guess the twin dancing, like they have some makeup, but they're not clowns.
They're not clowns. They're more.
They're dancers. Yeah.
The dancers and then the trapeze. Well, like they're not really trapeze artists.
Were those the same people?
No, they were different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two different people. Like the other ones were the ones that turned into. They were also vampires. Remember?
Oh, and they were twins. They were twins.
Spoilers.
This is all spoilers. In this. Yeah, there's no clown vampires. Everyone just turned it off.
Yes,
at that moment.
basically. Yeah.
Well, and that was what I was. That's in a movie called Vampire Circus. I think it could have gotten weirder. It could have gotten crazy. It could have gotten way
weirder. I mean, maybe there aren't clowns in the circus in England in the 70s. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Interesting. But this was set in the 1800s or whatever. But I mean, maybe there weren't clowns then either. I don't know.
But I'm not sure they were really concerned about historical accuracy.
This was all about historical accuracy. The only thing that I saw in it that had maybe some political relevance was sort of at the very beginning when the Anna takes the child into the Count's castle. And there's basically all the people are coming to storm the castle, but they're actually afraid because he's rich. They were like, he's the Count, so he'll kill us all killed. Exactly. And even the fact that he has literally killed many children and has abducted this woman who is Albert's wife, but abducted meaning like she's in love with him or has been glamored maybe, but we don't know.
So he was like the Jeffrey Epstein of the day.
Yeah.
Basically. Wow.
Lovely.
That went.
I need to sit.
Yeah, same.
It's okay. That's a more terrifying movie than this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we've lived it.
Yes, it's real. Wow, we got really dark there.
No, it's okay. We need to get dark.
For Vampire
Just like
Circus.
this coffee. Yeah, for Vampire Circus. This is what happens when we're too dark. All right. Panther guy. Oh, what were you gonna say? I just wanted to just say a word. Panther guy.
It was so. What was his name? Emil.
Emil. Yes.
Whoever that actor was just looked so quintessentially 70s in English. Like
he was good.
Yeah, he was like. I mean, to be fair, a lot of his lines were mostly silent and he was just like. Growl with your eyes was like probably the direction.
That's a growl with your eyes. Let's see if we can do it. I feel like to me that just means squinting.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe better without my glasses.
No one's gonna even see our eyes.
Yeah. It's
But like, I thought he was good at being sort of pantherian, you know, in his movements. He was definitely. I got the vibe of him and that one girl, Rosa.
Oh yeah, Rosa.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely like. I mean, it was interesting because like there was definitely like a hypersexualized vibe from the whole movie. Really,
right. Again, yeah, that's the hammer.
Like,
yeah,
they were definitely like hitting that mark.
They hit it very well, except for I guess that opening sex scene.
Which
but I think to me that was like an interesting choice because normally. It is just sex, and that was sort of their attempt, I think, to make it sort of romantic and that they're in love. And this is why this woman who is the wife of Albert, I guess, who's sort of the school teacher / like seems like kind of the leader of the town, at least the moral leader.
Yeah,
he's our protagonist, kind of. I guess it's Anton too, the kid.
Yeah, yeah. There wasn't. I mean, maybe that's why I had such a hard time like. Caring because there was no real protagonist in the film. Like it's just like there's a clear like antagonist, right, or like group of them, but
they're kind of more fun. So like I'm kind of rooting for them.
In a way, yeah, it kind of was. I was like, no, bring the count back. Let's see what kind of mischief he gets into.
Yeah, ooh, I want some more mischief. Yeah, let's see more dead children. Yay!
I mean, that's not what I meant.
that's what happens though.
Okay, fair enough.
But basically they do defeat the Count in the opening scene, and then like it goes like 15 years later. Because the Count his dying breath is cursing this town. All you and your children will die.
Yes.
And now everyone's dying of a mysterious ailment. And there's like a town council like, what the fuck do we do? There's a blockade. They're quarantined.
Yeah, they're quarantined, which felt a little familiar.
Yeah, it did.
We don't need to really get into that.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's hard to escape that in some ways.
It was well done. I'll say that. Oh.
I think we got a package.
Special guest.
Or Count Mitterhouse? I'm not inviting them in. We're not doing that. If they knock again, though, I will leave.
Okay, so that was one thing that bothered me about the film was like
they
didn't like seem to kind of adhere to all the rules of vampires, like because there was that one house, right? Like when the young girl Dora, right? She was like in there, and they're just like. They check this one door and it's like, where's the key? And she's like, I don't know where the key is. And then they end up coming in that door, obviously.
Yeah.
But they just let themselves in. Like they just like kind of walked right in. And
I mean, I guess you pick and choose what rules. They didn't.
They never said they couldn't.
Yeah,
so
right. Well, like they did have the cross was a big thing.
Yes.
And like very much so. Like the cross was like the only thing that really worked. I mean, because sunlight doesn't really play a big factor in this.
I mean, to be fair, it's cloudy in England, so...
Right, yeah, this is why it's a good feeding ground for vampires.
Yeah,
that's why you moved to the Lake District. I don't know if that's where we were, but it was Steckel?
Steckel.
Yeah, I just made that up, but that sounds right.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
or... No, it wasn't Schnitzel. It was...
Schnitzel! It'd be a German film. I will say, every sip of this coffee is tasting better. As it cools down, more of the fruit is coming in, the one that we smelled. I would say, do I get raspberry? I think maybe I do. Or
maybe you're
it feels like a red berry of some sort.
Agreed.
And maybe that's because there's red berry, or no, it's just, I guess there's like a pineapple that's red, so it's just red.
Just red.
I'm just seeing red because that's what vampires, blood things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how deep I go. Not deep is the answer. But yeah, so we talked about Emil and his panther thing. I was into that. Like that's not a rule of vampires. Like he just turns into a panther.
And I mean bats, sure, but
yeah.
panthers, that's totally new, but I was on board with that.
Like, that's the kind of shit that I wanted.
That's pretty cool. Like, okay, bring on the vampire clowns, but that never happened.
Do you like the circus? Like
I have mixed feelings about like the circus.
In terms of probably
mostly like animal rights and stuff like that. Like obviously there are major issues with that, which is why we don't really have Barnum and Bailey that in the same spirit as it used to be.
Right.
Rightfully so.
That's the problem with that question is it sort of like has the caveat like, well, it seems like all animals or probably even the working conditions for people aren't great.
Aren't pretty terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but if we could enter this magical realm on this couch where circuses are humane to all, are you a full like, are you in?
I could be down for that. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's just like this magical place where
suffering doesn't exist.
Where suffering doesn't exist, and you know, there's cotton candy all over the place.
Are you a cotton candy guy?
You know, sometimes maybe like at the fair. That's like the one time. Like I'm never like sitting at home and being like, damn, I could really go for some cotton candy right now.
I don't know if I think that stopped when I was 6. Or like there was, or that's the age when you love cotton candy.
Yeah.
There's something about the airy sugar thing.
Yes. I mean, I think it's like I like the idea of it just because of that reason, right? Like it transports me back to like my youth. Yeah. And after like 2 bites, I'm like, okay, this is awful. Yeah, and it's honestly the sticky part. It just like it's sort of like I don't know what's this. There's like it's like one of those foods where I feel like no matter how careful you are, you somehow just end up being sticky. You're gonna be a mess.
Yeah. And to me, it's not worth it. Like especially at a fair, like they've elevated cuisine at those things where there's like something way more insane that I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the like dipped cheesecake on a stick.
Right, or the deep fried Oreo or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do or Twinkie or you name it. Yeah, or like the alligator on a stick thing, you know, which that's not very humane to animals. But,
no. Yeah.
So never mind, we'll cut that.
Yeah.
Your children will die.
Well, there's like a love story, I guess. I don't know if it's interesting, but like Anton, the son of the doctor.
Right.
Like Dora. And young love wins. That's the message of this movie? Would you say that?
Sure, that's one of the messages.
Sure, you say like high pitch, meaning like you don't buy it at all?
I don't know if there was a message of this movie. I think it was just an idea that they kind of like explored a little bit. Right. And then kind of like, we should really have some sense of story to this. And then sprinkle that in.
Sprinkle it in.
Voila.
Yeah, I agree with you. It sort of was like, okay, we have, you know, leftover costumes from some other thing, or like, let's do circus vampires. We haven't seen it.
Yes.
I think that's probably it. But I do like the idea of like, how are we going to make this happen? And it's like, okay, to save Count Mitterhouse, we have to have like an uncle or a cousin who's a panther dude come with his troop to like basically feed on the children and have them revive him. And that's a fun idea.
That's actually a really interesting idea. Yeah. Like the execution of those scenes was questionable, but like the weird like drips of blood cuts were like just kind of a strange choice, I think.
And your children will die to give me back my life.
Yeah, just like dropping paint and then it just sort of disappears.
It disappears. It's like they were just like dropping it on a glass plate and then just wiping it off and filming that like each time, which was an interesting choice. I mean, maybe the Count couldn't be there for all the shots. I don't know. Like,
yeah, he was not that. That was not the Count. I also, I had that note. I was like, we could have done something cooler, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cool though, let's talk about the panther attack in the woods.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Did you like cutting to like between like a real panther and then like seeing the stuffed animal panther head?
Oh, I love that. That was my favorite part of the movie, actually. I would like, my wife and I, we were sitting and we were just watching this and like that scene happened. and
we're cutting to it right now.
Man, that panther attack was vicious. Let's just say that.
It was so good.
This animal was really cute.
I thought it was fairly effective for being a stuffed animal. Like, I was impressed in that, knowing what it was.
I was just imagining it having googly eyes while they were doing it. Which made it more enjoyable.
Well, that was pretty devastating too. Like, that was a really fun idea that the dwarf was leading this family out because, you know, that was one of the things to get him out behind the blockade, and then he just leaves them to their death.
But here's a question: they lived in that area. It seems like they would know the way
better,
than
the guy who has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been there for 6 days. Like, you know.
I think they're desperate for answers.
Yeah,
but and also I think we just needed. The movie needed some sort of monster attack.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
We needed some sense of horror in the
this is horror movies with friends.
Yeah.
What was the most horrifying part for you? Was it the panther attack? Or I guess it was that sex scene.
I mean, that wasn't horrifying. It was just really confusing, apparently.
Not what you want from your sex scene, or your horror movie, maybe.
Or your horror sex scenes. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This has it all.
Yeah, it does have it all. That's true.
Except for clown vampires.
Except for clown vampires, which, I mean...
God damn it. Oh, you know what it does have, though? Did you know the strongman, Dave Prowse, is fucking Darth Vader?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean the body. Obviously, he's not the voice.
Well,
James
yeah,
Earl
of course.
Jones, but he's the guy who's in the suit.
Wow, I don't think I knew that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, like I was.
Also, he has 0 lines in this film as well.
But he crushed a cross. The biggest question mark for me was they're having the meeting about how the town's fucked, and then all of a sudden the circus comes in, and they're like, "Why are you here?" And they're like, "To steal the coins from Dead Man's eyes." And we're like, "Oh, come on in!" Like, what?
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. She just announced her intentions,
and then she laughed heartedly. Did you spike this coffee?
I did.
I'm feeling really.
No, I think that's what happened with
the
this.
couch.
Yeah, exactly. That's called having fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a new thing, I know. It's been a while since we were allowed to have fun.
It's true. Yeah.
But I think also this liquid, whether it's spiked with caffeine, so that certainly is a thing.
Yeah, and that would be great for you editing later, but when I'm trying to sleep, that's going to be interesting.
This is going to get cut. No,
I really felt like we were connecting there.
That's why I said
it. He's like, we're cutting this.
Any connection, out. That was just for us.
Yeah,
that's not for them.
Okay. I feel like we keep segueing away from the movie.
Well, because it's more fun to segue away from the movie. I think that there's not much in the circus tent, is what we're saying.
We invite you to go through the mirror of life.
The mirror of life, though, I thought it was pretty interesting. Like, I don't know what it's trying to say per se, but it was an interesting device, right? Of like getting people into a vulnerable state to be like taken advantage of by like the vampires and to like bring them into their lair, and just like they made that choice, right? Like to like do that. Like that I was just like, oh, okay, like they're basically choosing their own death, somewhat unwittingly, but yeah.
Right, and I think that was like maybe a missed opportunity because it was such a cool idea. Like, hey, everyone wants to go in the fun house and see all the mirrors. Like, I'd say yes to that. And then you go in and then you're sort of seeing, like your temptation or some sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But it could have been way darker. It could have been way cooler. Like, the problem with this movie, as you mentioned, is that we don't really know anybody in it. So, like, this would have been a great opportunity to show some character stuff if we had already knew who these characters were.
Yeah, or even, like, to, like, maybe the mirror shows, like, some sort of internal desires or something that they might not necessarily, the forbidden desires that they might have, right? And that would have been interesting.
And that's what vampires sort of represent in a way. And then it's like, ooh, I want whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's, money, women power, what all the obvious things are, or maybe it's just cotton candy, you know, or if it's a kid, you know, and then you just fall into the lap of the twins and they just eat them. And that seems, that happens, but it feels like it wasn't as cool as it could have been.
I did feel like there was feminization isn't quite the right word, but just like this sexualization of like the youth in the film in a way, particularly during those scenes where the vampires are like getting ready to chomp on like a little kid's neck or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel really uncomfortable right now. Like, and
'cause-
I wasn't sure why exactly, but it just felt inappropriate in a way, just because there was clearly like this somewhat sexual creature or being kind of taking advantage of this person's innocence. Like,
I mean, 100%.
Yes,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, literally, well, murdering
them, yes.
but also like tasting their blood and attacking them, and,
Yeah.
and it is entrapment. It is all the different things, and I think we are supposed to feel uncomfortable about that.
Yeah,
I think we are. Mission accomplished.
Well done.
And hopefully everyone else watching is now uncomfortable. But no, it's like I think that's a purposeful thing, especially since you see. I mean, vampires basically equal sex in a lot of movies, but this one for sure. I mean, it starts with the confusing sex scene, but that's like, that's our vibe.
Interesting note, in the actual script, and I looked this up and confirmed on Wikipedia earlier, but it lists the scenes. Scene 1, confusing sex scene. That's what they call it.
Oh, I was going
I'm-
with you.
I
I was believing this until the punchline. I was like, ooh, what did we...
Was there a punchline? I don't know.
I mean, the punchline was just that you were lying. That was the punchline.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, you were like holding this to your best this whole time. But that was what made it, like, I was dubious a little bit because it's like, wait, I gave you the opportunity. If you had this like golden nugget, it should have come out already.
I really wanted to have that. Like, I did. Like, my secret desire, like, after I watched the film, was like, I'm going to research the shit out of this and like shock Andy and our viewers with some random fact about this. But I think you did that with the Strong Man already.
Oh,
really,
with Dave Prowse. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do that. So instead, I fabricated something.
We love fabrication on this couch because we couldn't be bothered with the reality.
It is tasting more floral, perhaps. Is the word that one?
Yeah, it's sort of gone from what I would say is boring coffee taste to fruit and floral. Like there's a lot of character in this.
Yeah. There's more color happening right now.
This is the third act, I think, and so I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you gonna say?
It was an incomplete thought. So.
Oh well, please complete it. Or
it's gone.
Share the incomplete thought. No, we love incomplete thoughts.
It's gone.
It was color. It's adding color.
It's gone, man. I'm sorry. You can cut this out. It's fine.
No, it's my fault.
Let's talk about the third act of the film, though. How about that?
Was there a third act? What happened?
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, we find out that there's actually both. It's the vampires and there's bat rabies.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's a special, like, form of rabies that turns people into vampires.
Well, no. I think it's two separate things.
Oh, the thing that was like... Oh, yeah, you're right. So the thing that was afflicting them... Oh, because of all the bats.
Yeah.
In the cast.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
That makes perfect sense, actually. Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the bat thing is also another connection to COVID too.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, I actually kind of like that it was both. That there was a logical explanation for everyone getting sick, and there's like this virus sort of around the town. But then also they didn't like. I thought that was going to be them saying there's no such thing as vampires. But then he's like, but there's also fucking vampires. Let's kill them all. I got the fucking army here. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I like how the army's two guys with rifles.
Hey, they come in somewhat of handy.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, like, he's like, I'm going to go to the castle and you guys keep hanging out the medicine. And like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's true. It's like, wait, shouldn't the guard who has a gun be the one that goes and does action?
If nothing else, to slow the vampires down. Like, you're not going to kill it with a gun, but like you could at least kind of...
Although we don't necessarily know based on the rules. Well, actually, no, we do. I think they do get shot a bunch in this and nothing happens.
The panther guy, right, gets shot that one time, but he just like...
Yeah, he just like laughs or...
Like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, or I thought he caught the bullet in his hand or something.
That would have been really cool.
Like Superman-esque.
What if it had cut to the panther like stuffed animal and it like caught it with the teeth?
Oh man, what if it had been like the Matrix with like the bullet time, but it's that stuffed panther?
Well, that would have been really good.
That would have been amazing.
If I had the time and money and talent, I would cut to that right now.
Oh,
but
man.
instead, it's just going to be me
Just
looking
imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
Imagine. Wow.
I'm glad we left some space for imagination in this episode.
I mean, it's important.
It is.
It's important.
This movie leads you down this path.
It leads
You
down
know, that's
some
what the
sort
circus
of path.
is about.
Yeah.
Some sort of
Dark
twisty path.
path.
But clearly not to the crypt. How is that not your first thought? Let's go find the crypt when people are dying and there's vampires. Where they know
willful ignorance. I mean, just human nature, right? Like, you don't want to believe what you know to be true, especially if it's like something bad.
Back to COVID.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. You convinced me. It makes perfect sense. God damn it. That's the thing. You can't, I can't argue logic in movies because then you just look outside and you're like, oh yeah,
yeah,
we're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna change.
Yay. Okay.
I feel like there's been a lot of moments where you're just like, that's a real bummer. I'm sorry.
No, I think I'm loving every moment. I like a big swing, you know?
There's some peaks and valleys in this one.
Yeah, that's life. You know, and I think this feels like our valley into the end here. We're rolling down the hill.
Going downhill.
Yeah, we're definitely yes, exactly. We are over the hill, over the runtime. And Chris, I thank you so much for coming and visiting.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, visiting the circus with me.
I love talking vampires and circuses with you. Circi.
This isn't our first Vampire Circus conversation.
Never. I mean, this is honestly a weekly occurrence. It's fine. Yeah.
There's not enough Vampire Circus things, so we're running out. But we have to create one, as you said.
I think that's our next Hulu special. Vampire
Our
Circus
next
2.
one. Do we have another one?
Sure, why not?
Damn it! What universe are you in? I want we have Hulu specials. Oh man, I'm gonna publish this in the future when that's actually true. We're on Halloween, baby.
Hold on to this one.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's clink glasses.
Yes.
And as always, this has been doing this for charity. That's been the sort of what has made me legitimize this or be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and fucking do this. And so there's more information on the Trevor Project down below. Trevor Project is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping LGBTQ plus youth with suicide prevention and crisis intervention, which there's not really much better cause than that. So if you can, click the link below.
Donate.
Yeah, I hate saying donate, but it'd be great.
Give.
Yeah, give. Like I'm giving my whole self to this for some reason. But that's the reason. It's for the Trevor Project. Exactly. It's I'm watching Vampire Circus with friends for you and for the people that couldn't be here. And so on that note, I will see you at the next phase of the moon. Tomorrow's episode, tomorrow in quotes, because I think I'm posting these probably like boom, 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 if we can actually do it. I am going to be talking with my father about the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's right, and that is available on Amazon Prime. So yeah, follow along with us. It's worth a watch. Hey, you have your homework, I have mine, and now it's time for my favorite part. Let's howl at the moon for the friends we miss, the friends we wish were here to see this.